Hello everybody, this is Frank Gamer. Once again, this is voice chat, where we tend to have more intelligent conversation. On today's program, I have Paul, aka Super Positive.
Hello there.
Sorry, I didn't really give you a cue to say anything.
No, yeah, I was a little bit confused as toward whether you wanted me to talk or not.
Nah, it's fine. Um, Today we will be talking about copyright issues on YouTube. The
Oh boy.
wonderful, wonderful thing that we all have to deal with from time to time.
We if you're a content creator on YouTube, you've probably been through it once or twice.
Yes. This is life on YouTube in a nutshell is dispute claim, click. That's what it is.
If you legally can dispute that claim,
Yeah,
because
yeah. Don't
sometimes
don't upload actual movies and music that isn't yours and then try and dispute it. It doesn't work. Have you had any past issues with this?
um yes, but not on my current channel. It has
Oh,
been on other channels such as my old Let's Play channel, which shall go unnamed. But it's mainly been around Nintendo games and video games that I otherwise forgot to cut out cutscenes and or the music decided to
hmm.
match me for Content ID.
Wait, the game's music got you dinged.
Yeah,
Oh wow.
that happens a lot with either video games like GTA, where like it's a lot of third party
Ah,
music, or like even something as simple as a Nintendo game can do that to you.
see, they must be cracking down on it now.
Yeah, they really are.
I had I also had a short-lived Let's Play channel, but I realized I was bad at it, so I stopped doing it.
Oh, same.
Yeah, I uh, I actually got dinged for a couple things. All of them Nintendo. So so that was wonderful.
Very good example Nintendo is. They are the shining beacon in the copyright.
I don't get it. I mean, all of these other companies know when you're using it for fair use. Like I wasn't using it to say, oh, here's all the secrets of the game. You know, games aren't something that you're getting the same thing out of when you're watching someone else play. That's not what you're getting out of it. So you could make a case for fair use, but I don't think legally anyone has yet for Let's Plays.
No, and I see now here's the thing where I want somebody to go to court because I want somebody to take a video game producer, company, developer, whatever. I want somebody to take them to court so that like everybody on YouTube kind of knows what the fair grounds on that are, like
Yeah.
what what constitutes fair use, what can you use, what can't you use, and because gaming it's such a it's not static like movies are.
Right. Right.
It I'm trying to think of the name. It's
Interactive.
I guess interactive would probably be a good one, but there's a different word for it that it's
Hmm.
in my head. I know it is, but it's just not coming out right now.
No, it's fine. My past issue with Nintendo was specifically for Super Mario World because I did some Super Mario World videos. I ended up getting dinged because there was I guess I guess it was the volcano where you activate the green button or whatever. I think that was the video that they dinged me on because there's like a small, short, tiny cutscene leading into it, like where Mario falls down into the volcano and you hear the music. I got
Yeah.
dinged for that. Nintendo wouldn't let me have it, and I guess they just wanted to advertise on my video. But it's like this is just not right, Nintendo. I'm sorry, this is ridiculous.
Well, ever since Nintendo, see now, like the thing with Nintendo is I don't think they necessarily understand how YouTube works.
No,
And like, 'cause if anything, I don't think it's Nintendo of America making these
no,
decisions.
no. Yeah, it's certainly corporate. Yeah, it's gotta
Yeah,
be.
I feel like it's Nintendo like Japan or something
Hmm.
that it's deciding, all right, let's just make sure we grab all the money that we can.
Yeah, it's gotta be. There's gotta be a disconnect between the legal systems or some sort of intellectual property laws between the two countries. There's gotta be something a miss there because I'm you don't see this too much from American companies, except in the case of music, I guess. But you don't see this from companies that should know better, I guess is what I'm trying to
Hmm.
say. Um,
Like, there's a lot of developers or video game developers that have openly come out and said, okay, yes, you can let's play our game. I know that Bethesda is
mhm.
very open about it.
Yeah,
Um,
and it makes sense too. They're getting basically free advertisement for the game.
mhm. They're getting free publicity, and that's, well, who wouldn't want that? Like, I would want that. To give me free publicity.
I know, and
But
these, especially the indie developers, the indie games, they thrive on that kind of thing, and they know that that's how they get exposure.
not all of them, though, mind
Okay,
you.
yeah, that's true. That is true because I
There's a
have seen
few.
some of them cracking down on their people playing their games. It's which I think is ridiculous. By the way, I should go on record on saying that you're getting
If
free advertisement for your indie game. Why would you shut that down?
if you want to see a controversy around video game developers not wanting you to do or like the censorship of YouTubers, I would highly recommend watching Jim Sterling's
Yes,
The Slaughtering
I
Grounds
was going to
video.
say that. That
That
is the
is
greatest example of that I've seen.
one of the best. And he's recently come across another one too. I can't recall the name of that one entirely, but it
Yeah.
has happened again.
Yeah, I don't
And
remember. The game looked weird. I remember that. I don't remember what the game was called.
I can't recall it either, and I'm not about to Google it. So
Well, in along with Nintendo's copyright thing, I did want to get into Nintendo's affiliate program.
oh
The
boy.
Yeah, the wonderful program where they basically force you to pay protection money to them so that they don't block your video.
The Nintendo Mafia, welcome to our
It's what it
group.
is. It's the Mario Mafia. It's ridiculous. I
You
can't.
gotta pay up, or my brother Luigi, he not
There's
gonna be happy.
there's no way they're in the right in this. There's no way. I
Mhm.
mean, sure, the law hasn't caught up to it, but as soon as it does, there's no way this is going to be allowed. I mean, this is ridiculous. I
See,
don't know.
now that's where I think you might be a little bit in the wrong, because technically, yes, all this video game content is owned by Nintendo.
Right.
Obviously, Nintendo produced and made, for the sake of the example, let's say Super Mario 3D World. They made and they produced Super Mario 3D World, so technically, any content based around their game, they legally have the right to take any revenue from
Kind of.
if it is not within fair use.
Yeah, and that's the issue right there.
That is the main issue. Let's players, I say, are very loosely within fair use. They're like,
Yeah, and it also depends on what kind of a let's player you are because if you're just playing the game, no commentary, no jokes,
if you're,
you could
if,
argue that they're just providing the game to fans who don't want to buy the game.
yeah, even though that's
Even though it's not true,
utterly
yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah, even though that's not the same as playing the game, you could argue that from a legal standpoint, I would say. And so
I think,
I could see that argument, but I mean the problem is when you start to have commentary over the game. I mean, commentary, cracking jokes, talking, that kind of stuff. That's a different thing that you're getting from that video than you would be getting from the game, and I think that they take that into account when they start to make these rulings.
yeah, and see now what I think about it is that if you have any type of commentary to say over some person's intellectual property, whether you're talking about Mario to Bethesda, to the I don't know the Lone Wanderer, to some type of figure, the iconic hat of Watch Dogs. Um, okay, sorry, I made myself chuckle, but
No.
when we're talking about all of these different things, as long as you have some type of commentary, whether it be meaningful, whether it not necessarily be very, I guess, educated or worthy, it's still technically falling within fair use because it's
Hmm.
your opinion over the content, over the IP. So
Right.
that counts as fair use.
Right.
And to me, I'm just like, okay, well then all Let's Players are in that within that same sense, kind of in the clear because they're providing commentary over the game and telling people what they think, what they like, and what they dislike about the game. So it is technically commentary. It's basically what reviewers do over 100 episodes.
Yeah, and see, that's the thing, is if you come at it from that standpoint, you're right. But there hasn't really been anything legally to support Let's Plays as being fair use. I mean, you can make the argument, but so far, I mean, they haven't really addressed it, to be honest.
Well, see, a lot of the thing that Let's Plays are is it's catering content to be entertaining to other people. Like
Right.
if you're doing, for example, a Mario or not even a Mario game. Let's do something a little bit different. Let's say we're doing Phoenix Wright. That is a very that is a game that I would be completely okay with them not wanting on YouTube. Because Phoenix Wright in itself is very story driven.
Right, right.
And because of that, it's almost it like once you know what to do in Phoenix or once you know who did it or how to get to the certain path in order to win, you don't have any value in the game anymore. Phoenix Wright is one of those rare examples of a game where you do not have any sort of value past once you already beat it the initial time or seen somebody else beat it.
So there's no replayability?
I'm not saying that there's no replayability, but once you already know what to do, it's kind of hard to want to go buy the game.
I see. Yeah, I could see that. The argument can be made the same for some of the Telltale games. They're very story-driven, but they do have branching paths. So you could say, well, I only saw one path, I might still go buy the game to try the other paths.
Yeah, the thing with that is that Phoenix Wright only has one path. So it's you start here, you end here. That is as linear as a game can get.
You really lost a good opportunity to yell objection right just then. You really did. You could have done it too.
No,
I know, it's so sad. It's too sad.
Oh well.
Sustained. Okay.
Maybe next time.
No, I could see that, but in the case of these Telltale games where there are branching paths, I think they could make the same argument in a way, because you really do see a story, from the game, and then when you go and play the game, it's going to be generally the same, especially some of their early stuff.
Yeah, I can roughly say agree with that because a lot of the early game is mainly introducing you to the world in
Yeah.
Telltale games. I mean, for example, if you want to look at The Walking Dead, like season 1, you start off in a cop car, and that's the only way you can start off, and you
Yeah.
go on, the cop dies. Sorry, spoilers.
It's like the first 5 minutes of the game.
Though that's the idea. Like
Yeah.
no matter what game you're looking at, there's always going to be this kind of similarity or loss in value as soon as you make a let's play of it. Because if the story is the value, then you're going to lose value the more you see of it. For the example of Telltale Games, then yes, that is the value that you are losing. In the example of Phoenix Wright, that is the value you are losing. However, if you're making commentary over it, and this is where I stand on the entire Let's Play situation. If you're making commentary over it and you're talking about the game and why it's good or why it's bad and blah blah blah, or even if you're just having fun playing a game and you're talking over it as you go, I think that should still count as commentary. That is your commentary. That is legally yours. Nobody can take that from you. That's your free opinion, and that should constitute it as fair use.
Right. Yeah, I agree. And I think you can actually see that a lot on YouTube, not just with video games or movies or TV shows, but I've actually seen cliff notes of books on YouTube. They'll do cliff notes of books. They'll go over a whole book on an episode, and it'll be the entire book, what you need to know to pass an English test.
Yeah,
So I mean,
and
you
I
lose. I mean, the book loses value to you because you just watch that. You don't have to read the book. But at the same time, it's different, right? Because I
you
mean,
didn't
you're
get the
getting
entire experience.
yeah, you're getting something different out of that video, especially like thug notes. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
I am not familiar with those.
It's exactly what it sounds like.
Oh, okay. Well,
It's cliff notes of books or stories told from a thug. So, so he's
I
awesome, by the way. He really is.
I
Um,
kind of need to watch that now. I'm
you
going to
should.
need to watch a few of them. Had he done Harry Potter by any
I
chance?
don't know. I think I saw Great Expectations, so I don't know about Harry Potter.
I'm going to have to look for it. Now I'm very curious.
No, but see that's something else he's bringing to it that's different than you would get from like a typical. Oh, well, this is what the movie or the book is about. This guy's named Pip, and he saves a guy. That's that's the story. So now you don't have
Yeah.
to read Great Expectations.
And I think bringing that little bit of personality to anything that you talk about and or feel passionate about is ultimately what makes it fall within fair use. Maybe that it's not legally entirely correct because I think fair use constitutes as anything that provides informative slash educational value. Um, it is used. No, I think that's about it.
Yeah,
Informative and educational value.
yeah. I think commentary and criticism are the two that they
Commentary,
we
commentary and
typically say, and then they bring up whether it's educational. There's several elements to it, but it's really complicated. And
ugh.
if anyone's a lawyer, feel free to comment on that. I mean,
Comment,
seriously.
please, with like the entire book if you if you want.
But not just any lawyer. You need to be an intellectual property lawyer, or your opinion is invalid. I'm just joking.
You need to read that book day and night, or else we do not take it.
Memorize copyright law in the United States.
And then post it in the comments, and we'll believe you.
So, is there anything else you wanted to say about YouTube's copyright issues before we go?
YouTube has horrible support for content creators, and they should really fix
No.
that.
Oh my gosh, I know. No, no, it's so bad. People who are not YouTubers, they have no idea how bad it is.
It it really comes down to trying your hardest to make sure everything you're doing is legal.
And even then, even if you are within your legal rights, you have to jump through like 3 hoops before your video actually starts to develop ad revenue.
Yeah, and see now there's another thing where like it really depends on whether you want ad revenue from it
Right,
or not.
right.
Personally, I like to do that for my work because a lot of my work requires heavy scripting, heavy
Hmm.
editing, 2 nights of no sleep or something like that.
Yeah.
I've lost sleep making a few videos, don't get me wrong. I've tried to make my own deadlines. My deadline is Saturdays at 12. that is that is my deadline. If I
You,
release at all.
you need to record yourself as like the gruff police captain who's yelling at you when you don't get it completed. Just play it back when you're like late on a deadline. Just
What are you doing, son? I thought you had a video to produce.
turn in your badge and gun. You heard me.
Turn in your mouse and keyboard.
Mouse and keyboard. Because
Walk
the
the
mouse
plank.
is like our gun. That's what it is. So that's I guess that's about it on this. I don't really want to say much else on the Nintendo affiliate thing.
Ended on a very high note.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Um, if you guys like this video, like, comment, subscribe. Definitely check out Super Positive. I'll leave a channel link in the description for him. Very good content creator. Highly recommended.
You're making me blush.
See, I can't tell.
Well, yeah, I don't have. That's because you can't see my face, but still, you're making me blush.
Right. Well, anyways, I am Frank Gamer, and this has been Voice Chat. Thanks for listening.